Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, gypsies in the street. Oh boy, I'm making a lot of videos today. So I'm going to talk about Christopher McCandless, or Chris McCandless, whichever. I don't know what he or his family would prefer, but for those who don't know who I'm talking about, if you've seen the movie or read the book, Into the Wild, that was him. I just saw I don't know, some TV show, and I don't watch the boob tube. I watch, if I'm going to watch something, I watch it online. Not that there's any difference, because it's the same stuff, but that way we can both watch. We can both sit where we can hear each other, so we can communicate, but we can watch different shows at the same time and not bother each other. So that's pretty cool. I mean, if you think about it, that's pretty darn cool. I mean, the technology is like far out, man. Anyway, they on that show they were showing pages from his journal, and I would love to be able to get a copy of that. I haven't been able to find one. I found, there's the book and there's the movie, but what about his diary? That's what I want to read. I want to read his writings, what he said. I don't want to read what someone else said about him, what someone else said he believed in or said. And it's not just that, he said X. It's how he said it, why he said it, when he said it, what else is going on. You have to deal with all that. But I'm really trying to get at, after more than 2 minutes. And let me tell you, I've thought about doing the same thing. I wouldn't do it in Alaska. You know what? We could get an old bus, an old schoolie. We could turn it in. I mean, we could just, take out the seats. And with what we have, we could do pretty damn well. I've talked about it before. There's a very good possibility that come spring or early summer that I'm just gonna say screw civilization and head into the woods. I mean, I'm going to leave my family behind and everything, because, they can't come with me and live like that. I mean, and I don't really know if Lisa would want to live like that. I mean, geez, when I was in high school, it was safer for me to be out in the woods, sleeping out there. And I didn't have a sheet or a blanket or a tent or a tarp or nothing. Let me tell you, those roots of them trees are pretty darn uncomfortable, but they keep your head up off the ground. But, I think I might be happier out in the forest, but I don't have to deal with nobody. It's not that I like or dislike people. It has nothing to do with that. It's, I just don't know how to deal with people. Have a hard time with human beings. I ain't never had no problems with critters. But, during the cleaning, my wife is in the other room, Lisa. She found a well-worn but unused ball for my flintlock, but I can't use my flintlock. Frankly, I don't know where all the parts are right now. And it would be much easier, much more convenient, much more versatile to have a smoothbore 62 caliber flintlock over a 50 caliber flintlock. You can see with a 62 caliber, you load it right with the right amount of powder and the right load. You could take moose, you could take elk, you could take bear, you could take deer, you could take turkey, you could take squirrel. So you're taking everything from bear and moose, mountain lions, all the way down to squirrels and small birds. That's what you can do with a 62 caliber. With a 50 caliber, it's a whole lot harder to do that. You can, to a squirrel, you can do a lot of damage with a 50 caliber. I mean, people might say, well, the ball's only that big, Seamus. I'm like, yeah, but a squirrel's not all that big, and chipmunks are even smaller. And you could lose a lot of meat. So,
get off of that.
Think a lot about this. I'm not sure.
Huh?
What?
Oh, I'm talking to Meg.
I'm not sure if I did decide to go. I mean, when I decide to go. If I'm even going to tell anybody beforehand. I might write some letters. If there's a way to send emails to people. That can be, or it can be timed. I can go ahead and write the email and then set it to actually automatically send on a certain date or time. That would be good. That way, I'm long gone. I've been gone for a couple of weeks or more before anybody gets the emails, because emails are going to be instant. Snail mail, that's going to take a few days. I mean, I really, the only thing that I would like to do is get a felling axe, and I'd like to find a way to attach the case to the back of my oilskin pack. It would hang upside down, but the case would have to be attached to the back of the pack, and I need at least one, probably up to 3 or 4 skinning knives. Again, the 62 caliber, and having a pistol, say a 62 caliber flintlock pistol, it would be better to have, the pistol and the rifle being, well, it's not a rifle, it's a long gun, being the same caliber. Basically being the same gun, just shorter. That would be a whole lot better, because if I have one gun that's this one caliber, another gun that's another caliber, then I have to deal with putting my hand in the shooting pouch, take out the right powder, the right pouch powder, or not powder. The powder would be in the powder horn, but the right balls and the patches, and there's considerations there. And if I reach in and I take a 50 caliber ball and I stick in a 62 caliber, it's just going to drop to the bottom, It's not gonna. I could patch a 50 caliber ball and put in a 62 caliber long gun, and it's just still going to drop to the bottom. I'm not going to have to use a ramrod, and I turn it over, it's just going to fall out. So it'd be better just to have a 62 caliber rifle and a 62 caliber pistol. Actually, 62 caliber rifle, single shot, because I think a double barrel 62 would be too heavy. In the long run, it would probably be too heavy. On the other hand, 62 caliber smoothbore double barrel pistol would be good, because let's say it is a bear. Bears are not the nicest critters around, and it's a bear. You have to get your second shot off pretty damn fast. I saw a video on YouTube. This old boy, he was out hunting. I don't know if he was hunting. I guess he was hunting. He was either hunting or he was, looking for a place to go hunting. And like 100 yards away, he sees this here bear. And the cubs aren't right there with her. The cubs are further back, but it doesn't matter, does it? It's a mama bear, and she has cubs. She sees him 100 yards. 100 yards. I think he got one shot off, didn't even hit the thing. And by the time he went to fire a second time, it was too late. The bear was on top of him. And I think he had some broken bones. He looked awful. I don't know how this old boy comes up out of the woods after being attacked by a bear, as bad a shape as he was in, walks out to his car, pulls his freaking phone out, and starts video recording. And then he got home, and his girlfriend said, "What did you do? You cleaned an elk in the seat of your on the seat of your truck? There was blood everywhere." And boy, I'd hate having to kill any critter. I'd probably try and fish and live off fruits and vegetables and leaves and roots and things like that first. But then there's, of course, the safety issue of dealing with bears, wolverines, mountain lions. And I wouldn't just shoot some animal just because it was, within 100-yard diameter of me. It may not even notice me. Or if it does, it probably could care less. I've been in the woods enough. I've seen enough of critters that, they don't care. As long as you don't mess with them, they're not going to mess with you. I've walked by skunks, literally inches away from it, and they don't care. They have this sense. It's like they have this sixth sense. They have a good idea if you're going to hurt them or not. If you're going to harass them or not. But, I couldn't build a cabin. I'd have to build a super shelter. But that would be a lot easier and quicker. It'd be damn cold in the wintertime up here. But I think a lot about that. Because, I would be wearing moccasins and a breechcloth and leggings. I'd have to either take myself some animal, and I'd have to be, I'd take care on which kind of animal I took, because not all skins are the same, not all pelts are the same. And, look, could you imagine having a bear robe out there in the middle of winter? It'd be pretty darn warm. And, think a lot about that. I think about it to the point that I actually plan it. I haven't sat down and actually planned everything out that I would need to do beforehand, because frankly I would just go. I would just disappear. My plan would not be to make a big deal about it beforehand. I would just, send some letters out and emails, but those would be last second, not last minute, but last second things that I would do. The letters probably wouldn't even be sent from the area that I was going into the forest. They'd be sent from another area, so it'd be more difficult to figure out where I went. I might even hitchhike some. So when they find the car, I won't be anywhere in that area. I have pemmican, I have portable soup, and I can make some more pemmican. I have ship's biscuits, so I have a good start. I'd be able to eat for a while. Not that it would be the best food in the world, but it would work, right? I mean, I'd have to get a winter kit, which would mean a toboggan, snowshoes. It'd be nice to have some cross-country skis, or I don't know what type of ski. I wouldn't want downhill skis, but I want skis that were short enough to operate in brushy, wooded, hilly, mountainous areas, but long enough that they would just glide over the snow. The snowshoes, I'd need those for and they'd need the cleats on them. I think a lot about this, so.
Honey,
Hold on, hon. I try to keep a journal. Books are heavy; they take up room, so I couldn't take much in that. But I could take a couple of journals, blank journals.